Hi, good night. So, with a couple things happening today, I thought, and with conversations with some other people, I thought it prudent to talk about trust. And this refers to within relationships, well, romantic relationships, business relationships, and stuff like that. My tendency is to trust someone until they do something for me not to trust them. Because I believe that when you have a situation that somebody breaches your trust, the next person is not that person. So you don't necessarily treat the next person like the person who breached your trust, because they may turn out to be different. They may not break your trust. So generally I would try to start everybody off with a clean slate, because they would not have done something for me not to trust them. I'm gonna deal with the easy one first. Relationship. Relationships I'll speak to. Good night, Leah. Relationships I'll speak to second. In business, trust is very important as well, because when money is involved, people tend to get temptations and stuff like that. And if it's friends and in business, that can be problematic as well. And I guess the question I want to ask is, if trust is broken because of something someone did, if someone did something that breaks your trust, how do you move past that? Do you move past that? Do you say, well, it happened once and it probably won't happen again? Do you say that? What do you do? I mean, in business, you can't take a second chance, because it's business. You really can't take a second chance. If someone is defrauds, what's the word? Steals from the company or something like that. But in relationships, if you invest time, emotions, and you were trustworthy, how do you just give that up because of one breach in trust? Do you give that up because of two breaches in trust? How do you reconcile, or how do you move past a situation where you have been betrayed? How do you move past that? They say love is blind, keeps no record of wrongs and stuff like that. So with those things in mind, perhaps it is possible to move past the breach in trust and build a wonderful relationship. For me, at least now and in the past, it's sometimes easier to forgive than to throw away something that you've worked on for a long time. And that goes for business as well. But Anthony, Brian, Leah, folks, tell me, what are my options? What would you do? Once trust is breached, Leah is saying, once trust is breached, it doesn't go back to how it was. Many times one can move on and live happily in each other's company, but it will never go back to what it was. Okay. Forgive, yes. Forget, maybe not. Yeah, I mean, forgive. It's best to forgive in any situation because when you don't forgive, you hold things in and it harms you more than the person you're not forgiving. So it's good to forgive. Forgetting, yeah, I agree too. Perhaps not to forget as much as you would forgive, because you want to learn lessons. Hi, hi, Leonardo. Hi. Yeah, hi. Yeah, so you would have missed a bit, but I was speaking about trust and relationships and the workplace and so forth. I said in terms of the business side of things, you can't really come back from a trust issue because it could jeopardize the business. From a relationship standpoint, I was asking if it is possible to move past it, and Leah said, well, you could read what Leah said, but basically, forgive, yes, but maybe not forget. And why? What? I switch off the, okay, just now. Way to change the subject, but I guess I have to go with what the people want. Let me switch on the lights and stuff. Alright, so, alright, I pulled the umbrellas inside already because I closed before I do the live. And all this noise here now, let me switch it around. So I have the tables and chairs inside, so it's just the games there. And I have the counter here. And there's the big deviant up there, lights, and well, those umbrellas are normally outside, or the tables outside. I'm not going outside right now, sorry. Right, so I think I've satisfied the request of my viewers. What do you mean you're not seeing? What you're not seeing, Leah? What you want to see. If you're seeing me, then you could have seen the place. Right. So, trust. Can I go back to that now? Right, thank you. So, yeah. Let me have a seat. Yeah, so what Cleo said, God forgives her and he's not God. That's true, but sometimes the burden of not forgiving does more harm to you than the other person. Yeah, Leah is something else. Yeah. So, Leo, how is the family going, by the way? Leo. Oh, I'm sure it has. I'm sure holding on to a situation and not forgiving has held you back before. Won't go into it here, but yeah. I'm sure I can think of something. But I really want some feedback as far as in a relationship, when someone breaches your trust, can you move past that? And how do you move past that? And what is required of the other person? That is the question. what is required of the other person if to get back to a point where you could forgive, you mightn't forget, but you could move on and still be in the relationship. Yeah. So Leah, since you say that, do you still have 100% trust points towards me? Leo, you trust me? Let me get feedback. Oh, what did I do? Right, yeah. You can, Leah says you can move past trust. Why you say that? I do forgive. Yes, Leah, that's what I asked. Because you said you start off at 100%. So since we've known each other a couple months, is it still at 100%? It could be a way to delve into how trust is broken down. No one actually trusts anyone 100%. I kind of do sometimes. Perhaps to my own detriment, but yeah. What is trust, Leah? Okay. I guess, like I said, friendship. In a friendship, there's trust. In a romantic relationship, there's trust. In a business relationship, there's trust. And even taking a taxi, there's an amount of trust that you trust the driver will take you where you want to go. So there are various means of trust. But, I mean, oh, so you don't trust me, Leo? Okay, alright. Understood. Yeah. So, I think that while to an onlooker, 100% trust is risky, 100% trust may seem foolish, I think it is best for a relationship to be in complete trust. And if they do something, then why I say that? Because then you would bring baggage to a relationship if you don't trust them completely, because then you would be using references from your past to affect your future. Leo says there's a fine print word called insecurity, and it affects every aspect of what you have to do. Well, yes, that would affect some people, but in my case, insecurity is not so much an issue as far as relationships are concerned. Because if someone is unfaithful, or they lie, or they do something, that's not on me, that's on them. Alright, a person can start at 100, and you didn't answer my question, but so I'm just being devil's advocate as well, but I'm trying to show as well real examples. Leonardo didn't answer me, and Leah didn't answer me. You start at 100, Leah, and you could go to 0 real quick. So what percent am I at? And Leo's saying that start at 70%. And Leo says, I'm sure 70 would be the better thing. Yes, Leo, but that depends on personality. She's very trusting. Not always a good thing. Yeah, you and me both. Let's go to the extreme. Would you leave me home in your house with $7 million? Now that you have wife and 2 children, I don't know. $7 million. You personally? I'd have to think about that. At one point in time, yes, I would have. Remember, not to talk things about, but remember once I left you with the keys to my house and I went my way? So, that's trust. So, yeah, so once there's a breach, I know it's once there's a breach, I know it's really difficult, but I think depending on the circumstances, depending on the person, I think it's worth it, depending on the investment you have in that person already. What Leo and Leah talking about now? Well, the other thing too, depending on the situation, if I know the person and I could find them for that 7 million, I know people. So it mightn't be a matter of trust, but it might be a matter of I know I'll get it back. That's a different story. Yeah, so different people, but mostly we tend to trust more and then reduce the trust based on what I'm seeing so far. Because even Leonardo said more than 50%. $7 million or million? Would you leave me in your house with 7 million? Is that question addressed to me? Okay, it seems like this whole conversation is going over my head. So what is the bottom line? Oh. Yes, I would. You want to know why I would? I'll tell you why. Sometimes when you want to build trust, you have to, or if you want someone to trust you more, you have to extend trust to them as well. So, yeah, for those kinds of reasons, yeah. I am not lying. I said even Leo, I would have left it at one point. Listen, maybe you should use something else as the commodity or the item that you're trusting with. But I trust not you alone, Elia. I mean, yes, you're nice and special and all that, but it's not just you. But even though money is important, both of you might know, maybe more Leo than Leah, that it's never really been something that I am craving after or would cause me to do anything stupid. Money is important for life because it is the commodity used to buy things and so forth. But it's not difficult for me to part ways with it, obviously. But anyway, and when you bust that trust to leave Leah home with the 7 million, you come back and it's gone, you go forget your trust, then? No. Because Leah wouldn't do that. Because I know how to find out. I'll find out. You see, Leo is being ridiculous because he knows that I am a trusting person. He should know that. But both of you are being savage, I think, yes? Both of you are being savage. But the trust thing, I think so many types of relationships are based on trust. Or when I say based on trust, they are glued together by trust. So without the trust, I trust myself, yes, of course. So what you have no reason to trust Leo at all, Leah. I haven't been communicating with Leo on a regular basis for a few years. So he could have been turned into God knows what in the last few years. So yeah. Anyway, so I'm not sure if I got the answer to my question. If someone breaches your trust twice, and they seemingly have good reasons except not wanting you to know the truth. Hey Miguel, what's up? Yeah. And they seemingly have good reasons. Okay, so they did something, but they didn't tell you. That's another thing. How do you move past that? Or how do you move past that? What do they need to do for you to trust them again? What's up, Miguel? Welcome. What Miguel saying? Thing doesn't scroll down. What it? Leo Leah telling strangers, well, stranger to Leah anyway, not to trust you. Oh dear. So yeah, so Miguel, I'm talking about trust. I'm trying to get some insight from people. We discussed the business side that, and that difficult to regain that trust because it's bad for business if you reach trust. But in relationships, if the trust is broken, do you come back? Do you say, okay, or how do you go past that? You could line with Leah, but you haven't lined with me yet. Alright. Alright. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so can we get back on topic a second? if you've invested time and energy into, if you've invested time and energy into a relationship, time, effort, emotions into a relationship, and the trust is breached, is it easier to give up that relationship or to try and work on it to save yourself from perhaps a broken heart overall? Answer me that. This background is okay. So, what do you say? So Miguel said, if you don't have trust, you don't have anything. Miguel, do you start off, when you meet someone, do you start off trusting them 100%? Or does trust build over time? Because some of us believe to trust the person until they do something for us not to trust them. What are your thoughts on that? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If the relationship is worth it, trust can be repaired. That's what Miguel said. And Leah, once trust is broken, the relationship, whatever type it is, doesn't go back to how it was. Breach of trust doesn't mean breaking off the relationship at all. It just means a strain until it can get... I have to see more, okay. Until it can get better. But it never really goes back to how it was, and sometimes it still works out perfectly. Miguel said it builds over time, it's not an automatic thing. Yeah, I think we have some consensus from the viewers that we've had. Yeah. So Miguel, have you had experience where you've had a breach of trust and it's been repaired? Do you have a real life situation that occurred with you? I don't want the details, I just want to know if you've experienced it. Because saying something and living it might be two different things. That goes for you, Leah, as well. Wow. Many occurrences, huh? That's... wow. Okay, Miguel said he has many experiences, so I'll get back to that for some details. Leah says she's experienced it. It didn't work out, but they remain friends to date. Now, it didn't work out in terms of an intimate relationship, but you're friends. In my thinking, even with friendship, there has to be trust. So the relationship, in terms of a romantic relationship, didn't work, but the trust is there enough for you all to be friends. Is that it? Okay, both intimate and professional. But trust would have been regained because y'all are still y'all are friends now. That's what I'm trying to determine. I'm saying, oh, see bottles behind it. Yeah. So Miguel, if you're still there, you said many occurrences, but how many times have you has it come back to a good relationship? Um, my viewership is down. Oh, the fan on. I wonder if I'll hear if I invite anybody. Okay. Nope. Still don't trust the person. Um, but I don't have to trust somebody to like them or talk to them. Okay, so Leah, we have different perspectives on what a friendship is. Because if I don't trust you, then the most I would call you is an acquaintance. Okay, assuming men repair. Miguel says, yes, trust can be repaired, but the relationship will never be the same. Like Leah said, it's like when you break all your bones in your body and you go to the doctor to get repaired, you're never going to, oh dear Lord, look at this analogy. You're never going to have the same bone structure as you did before. Whew, Miguel, that is that is something. Wow. But I get the point. That's intense. But a breach of trust does feel like breaking bones. No, I mean some breaches in trust can feel more painful than breaking bones. So I think it's an apt analogy. Yeah, boy. This trust thing is something else. No, I understand it. I understand that analogy quite well, Miguel. I do. So, Leah, when you and Leo and I, Lyman, hanging out, for who don't know what Lyman means, I don't know. I didn't want to be specific, but I had some, like I said, I had some things happen today that really had me questioning trust and moving past breaches in trust. But but I really hope that it can work towards repairing those bones as close to how it was as before. And Leah, you are the one who brought up liming previously. You are the one who said you could lime with Leo. So now I'm saying, when are we liming? When are we hanging out? Okay, Leah is going to give us an example. Leo one. I think trust is the glue that holds a lot of relationships, whatever type it is, together. My eyes are so red as usual. Okay, Leah, type faster, please. I'm waiting on the example. Oh, Leah, you should go on Miguel's page, like his, and watch his live sometimes. You might enjoy it. Still waiting on Leah to finish her sentence. So, yeah. Okay, here we go. Leah says, I've met you once before, but we've never hung out. I know I trust you enough to be around you and feel safe, but do I trust you to take care of my niece? Maybe not. Would I want to take care of your niece? That's what it is. But yeah, I mean, I think I feel slightly offended by that, but whatever, okay. Um, Moving on. Yeah, yes, Leah. To answer your question, yes. Check it out and you'll see. You'll tell me. Miguel, when next are you going live? I haven't seen one of your lives in a while. Tell Leah when next are going live so that she can. My friends scare you? I don't understand. Why would my friends scare you? Okay, cool. Okay, he doesn't know when. Because I haven't been checking, so I'm not sure. But I think I would get prompts when people are going live, and I haven't seen that happen in a while. I told you I would leave you in the house with the money. Oh, Leo. Well, coincidentally, even though I haven't met Miguel in person, and Leo is, I think we're very different in many ways. I think we are sharing some common beliefs in that area, but we do disagree, Leo and I, in terms of the trust thing. Like, I would start off trusting 100% until somebody does something. You said you would do that to Leah. Leo said no. Leo said like 70%. Oh, hi. I'm not sure who you are because of the name. But the topic is trust. So we were discussing, or before I get into the details, Miguel, let me just ask you, when you meet someone, do you trust them often until they do something for you not to trust them? Or do you start off guarded? Right. So, hi, to answer your question, we're speaking about trust and what. Oh, okay. Well, if you have Al says shopping LY, how the hell are I supposed to know it's Alex? Yes. So we're talking about trust. And, well, put it in a company page, not your personal page. I could do your company page for you, know. Inbox me and I could do that. Yeah, let's do that too. So, yeah. Anyway, so it's about trust. So we discuss breach of trust in business, breach of trust in personal life, and how do you move past someone breaking your trust and so forth. Can you move past someone breaking your trust? Yes, yeah, why not? I mean, he using his personal page with his business name, so there's an ample opportunity there to promote myself, I think. Okay. Yeah. So, Alex. It's Alex. Yes. I, hi, Claudette. Claudette, that's him? No, Claudette. Right. So, Alex, the thing is, when you meet somebody for relationship purposes, do you trust them 100% off the bat? Or does that trust gain over a period of time? Because what I was saying is, if I meet someone, whether for a relationship or otherwise, I tend to try to give them the benefit of the doubt because if someone breached my trust before, I know Alistair, St. Alex, because of the name of St. Alex. But anyway, Alistair, I know. But yes, so I'm saying that when you just meet someone, he used to work for a company that I used to outsource through Ministry of Health. That's who Alex. It's not Alex, Alistair. I say Alex. Because of the name, it confused me. The company name confused me just now, but it's Alistair. Anyway, yes. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, so I was saying that sometimes if you got hurt before, someone breached your trust, when you meet someone new, you might have that baggage from the previous situation and bring it on this new person who may not deserve to be treated like that. So then my rationale is if you meet somebody new, you treat them better until or unless they do something for you not to trust them. But Alistair, aka Alex's shopping LY, says, nope, past experience has messed me up, so trust needs to be built. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what he said. So we have a mixed bag. Some people trust off the bat, some people don't. But okay, Alistair, next question. Since you're joining now, gonna ask this again. If someone breaches your trust, but you've invested a lot of time and emotions and you really care about this person, but they do something to breach your trust, do you say that's it? Is it easier to sever ties or try and do things to build back the trust over time and try and save the investment you already made in that person. Alice. Okay. Okay, so Leah said she won't sabotage over one breach of trust. And Alistair says, based on the situation faced with, I guess that will determine whether continues to try to work on the relationship or end it right there. For me, as I was saying before, if I've invested time, say 6 months or more, and I really care about this person, then I would want to try and save that investment because I see it like money. It's like money in a way, okay, or shares in a company. You buy these shares, but 6 months after in this ownership of these shares, the price dropped drastically. So the temptation right there is to sell and cut your losses and move on. Or you hold on to the shares and you ride out that bad period until the stock starts to gain value again. So that's it kind of there for me. Trying to decide if to hold on to the stock at a low value to see if it will increase in value again or cut my losses and why isn't it not a good one, Leah? I think that's an apt one because for me, I'd hold on to the shares because what's the point selling it off when it's at a low value? Or maybe it could be revengeful if it goes back to the relationship side. After things start to go good and I feel everything is okay, then it says for the tie. No, that's not a good thing. No, no, shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do that. No, that's not a good idea. No. Okay, so Leo, do you want to give a better example then? If you find my stock price example or share price example is not good. Let's see who's there. So I think some of you who just joined would have to look back at it because it has its moments before. Okay, Alistair, ask away. What's the question? Yes, Leah, I understand that, but it's an analogy. It's not putting the same value. Okay, Alistair, a lot of preamble for this question, but go ahead. I'm waiting. I would never put the same value on money as a human being or a person. Like I said before, I would leave you with the sellers. So, yeah. Okay, Alistair. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, Alistair. Oh, where's Miguel going? Miguel gone. Leo gone. Alistair, type faster. You know what I'm now wondering about? I want to put these things on YouTube, but the questions and stuff, all the comments wouldn't be there. Hmm, that sucks. I could have recorded it with the comments on the screen. Alistair, waiting by. You're taking so long to type again. Okay. No, it had a chip that in the nail that was bothering me. Sorry. Alright, so Leah says she knows um, it's an analogy, but saying depends on how much value the thing or the person. Okay, and Alistair gave the question. You're in a 3-year relationship and work has you traveling. You've gone off to a 2-week job and return to meet a guy bathing in your bathroom. Okay, this is interesting. So maybe it's her brother. Maybe it's the person's brother visiting. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I've had people over who I'm not sleeping with and they use my bathroom. So there are ways to wiggle out of that situation that your the person who was expecting to be in the shower, there are ways that they could get out of that situation. If you found them in bed together, that would be a different. But there are, in a sense, circumstances that could happen. Of course, who knows? Yes, like really, yeah. There are innocent circumstances. I mean, were they in the shower together? If they were in the shower together and his hands are disabled, maybe she wasn't there or, helping or something. But I'm just teasing, but honestly, there could be situations that it could happen innocently. But what I do, as I was sharing with my, I don't know, today, I have been avoiding people staying here. Just at one time, somebody visited and they put on a TV during my life. Well, that situation won't happen again. But yeah, I not having anybody over because I don't want those questions to come up. Even if they don't catch them in the bathroom or anywhere else, I don't want those situations to come up. So on my side, I would try not to create situations that could question trust. So you try to avoid those situations. Even though you want there to be complete trust between the two people, you try and avoid situations that could encourage doubt. So somebody, no matter how innocent, coming and bathing in your bathroom would definitely put doubt. Like, what are they doing there? And why, when you're away for the 2 weeks, they come and bathe in the bathroom? So, yeah. How you know they now finish? Alistair is saying they now finish the act. How you know? Okay, Leah is correcting me. We're talking about a situation where it's not innocent. That's why I said it depends on the value you place on a person because then you have different levels of trust. But she actually asked for forgiveness. Right. Well, we have similar We're asking each other the same question then, because what I'm saying is that it depends on the, well, you said 3 years, so now it's on you now to determine how much you value that 3 years that went. Another question I would have asked myself is, if you didn't come back at that point to catch the person in the shower, would you have known about it at all? Because asking for forgiveness comes easy when you're already caught. But confessing to something that you don't know about, that's a different thing. I think if somebody does something and comes to you and lays all the cards on the table and tells you, you know what, when you were away, this happened, and I'm really sorry, X, Y, Z, whatever, that's a little different from you coming and catch them in the act kind of thing. Asking forgiveness at that point is not as believable then, because what else would you do but apologize? Except maybe walk out and say, well, we're done. So that's a tricky one. Yes, Alistair, aka Al says shopping LY. No, I was not there. I wasn't saying there's a right and wrong way to breach trust, but there's a right and wrong way in terms of regaining trust. That's what I'm speaking to. Because if he didn't come and find the person in the shower and didn't think anything or didn't notice anything, but then she came back and said, babes, this is what happened, and I'm really sorry, and she gave me reasons why and whatever, and apologized, and he would not have been the wiser otherwise. I think that, excuse me, is a step in the right direction towards, although that breaking trust one time, it allows for the start of the regaining of some trust because of the confession without being caught. Right. You disagree with that? Well, we're entitled to agree and disagree. But yes, Alistair, I would say if she spoke about it before, no, if she spoke about it and asked for forgiveness and she go back and do the same thing, that's different. If she spoke about it and you didn't know about it, I think that is some measure to give some credit for. So at that point, it's easier to work towards forgiveness or work towards a path forward. If it is you all breaking up, whatever, you'd still break up on better terms than if you just walk in and see them cheating on you. That's my opinion. So yeah. Alistair says his thing is that if it happened once, it'll happen again. The likelihood increases that it will happen again, but that doesn't mean that it will happen again, though. And Leah saying that there's no right or wrong way to breach, I understand. And you don't believe that it makes it easier to confess. Some people know what the other person wants to hear and will say anything. Yes, but the situation that I'm speaking to is when the person being cheated on has no clue. right? And if it happens once, doesn't mean it'll happen again. So, and here, now I'm not pointing fingers at Alistair, but what you would do is not necessarily what the other person would do. Sometimes, and this is in this situation, and this is for other things as well, sometimes people project things on others based on what they would do or other situation. Alistair, here's the thing. Sometimes both parties are to blame for somebody stepping out. But sometimes it's no one's fault but the person who is cheating. Sometimes it has nothing at all to do with you. Sometimes it's just that the other person, choose my words carefully, it's just that the other person just isn't faithful, just isn't able to, because it has some people who, like, okay, as far as sex is concerned, there are some people who can't do without diversity, can't do without stepping out and going elsewhere, no matter how good things are. Unfortunately, because of their life experience, and this is just one part of it, because of their life experience of being cheated on before, they sometimes become the one to do that before it's done to them. That's one example. Another example is their childhood, their life experience, what they are accustomed to. There are a host of reasons, and a lot of them have nothing to do with you, have nothing to do with anything that you would have done or wouldn't do. Women and men are confused, trust me. Women and men. But that's a different story. So it is not, and that is why, because of people having different circumstances that they were brought up in, because of they have different life experiences, it's not good to judge one person based on what another person did, because each person has a different life experience. So you could have done everything right. Let me give you the classic example. Classic example. I don't know if I should be saying this live because she might see it, but anyway. So when I was in high school, I think I said it to somebody already. I was going out with, and anybody who attended my school seeing this would know who, going out with this girl in Form 5. And after she left school, I tried pursuing her. She ended up having a child with somebody else. And in spite of that, going after her again, but we didn't work out. But about 10 years later, she told me that if we ended up together, she would have cheated on me. She would have cheated on me. She told me that. Because, not because of me being a bad person, because of how trusting I am. She said that she would say that she's going to line with her friends and so forth and go with her next man. No, I don't know why people do this, but people tend to come to me and tell me exactly what they're thinking. People tend to come to me and confess their crimes or what they would do or what they have done. And so she told me that she would have cheated on me because I was too trusting, and it wasn't anything that I was doing wrong, it was what I was doing right, or what I thought I was doing right. Because I'm not insecure. And Leo was talking about insecurities and stuff. I am happy with who I am, and I've been that way for a long time. And so when people do things that breaching a relationship, I don't see it as my fault. Unless I search and I see where I was at fault, I don't automatically think it's my fault. Okay, Leah says it goes back to your definition of trust. For example, if two people are in a relationship and one person goes out to dinner with somebody else, that might be a breach of trust to somebody. To me, it doesn't mean breach of trust. No, I would go out with other people. That doesn't mean I'm going out with them with intentions like that. Um, right, so Alistair says, right, what I was just saying, it's based on the intentions. Yeah, Leo gone somewhere, I don't know. Let me see if I find him. This thing is moving so slow. Yeah. Right. So, hi cousin. I see you watching, talking about trust. So Alice is saying, how will one know the intentions then? You don't. You don't. But like I say, in any relationship, communication is important. So that will help with determining intentions. If if the person communicates everything and says, you know, well, she going out with John or he going out with Mary or he going out with John, whatever, and then you know what's happening. But if you're at home and she doesn't tell you anything and you find out after they went to dinner, that's different. Why not say? If it is innocent, then it should be able to communicate. So communication plays a role in determining what the intention was. Leah, Leah, yes, Alistair, yes, John too, yes. So good night, Leah. Have a good night. Thank you for your contributions, Leah. So, Alistair, it's not about what you do necessarily. Of course, if you cheating, then it would encourage the other person to cheat. Because, you know, it's like now it becomes an open relationship. Outside of that, if nothing is communicated, then it's not necessarily something that you did, it's just the other person. It's not necessarily something that you did. You're not necessarily at fault. You could be at fault. For example, ah, you would not have, I don't know if you'd have seen the previous lives, but what I spoke about is when people start dating, they would go out once a week or twice a week. They'd be on a phone every minute. In relationships, just as in business, you have to manage expectations. So if you know when you were courting, you were taking her out every week to a restaurant and spending $500, then when you're in the relationship, you have to do the same thing. If you were buying flowers every special occasion and every Sunday, when you're in the relationship, you have to do the same thing. Because that is what help you get in, as they say. So if that is missing, then your spouse, your partner, otherwise, will be looking elsewhere to get that now because that is what, in your case, that's what should have been getting in the first place. So if you have changed your modus operandi over time, then if you change your modus operandi after you get into the relationship, then you need to start dating again. People need to remember to keep falling in love over and over again. Alright. Straying a bit, Alistair is saying, want to get one of those arcade games. You have a cafe as well? Well, I can send you a number for somebody who might be able to give you one on commission or something. So just remind me after the live. So yeah, sometimes we can contribute towards somebody cheating if we're not giving them what we basically were giving them to start off with. Less sex, less attention, less phone calls, less dates, all those things. Hi Tara, good night. So all those things, all those things contribute to cheating or having a good relationship. And of course, you kind of gone off the trust holistically there, but relationships is the main issue for most people, apparently. So that's about it with that situation. You really need to check yourself, and if you know you are maintaining the same amount of relationship beforehand, then it's not you. And it is possible that it's not your fault. Hi, Tara. I should. What time is it where you are, I wonder? You know, Tara like to talk, so let me see if she'll say something. Maybe she can help you out if she answers. I may have to switch off the fan because I may not hear. I should have not accept the invite. So you can still accept the invite, man. Oh yes. Talking about trust and trust in relationships and stuff. Who's there? So you don't want to talk to me? Oops, I switched the camera around. Watching TV now. Okay. This live is. Alistair is still there? Okay, I'm gonna sign off. I think who just joined can watch back the video after it's saved, because I'll just be repeating myself otherwise. So thank you all so much for watching, and see you all again soon. Post your comments, questions, I'll answer after or in another live, and we'll talk from there. Who's saying can't get to that? Oh, okay. So we're gonna close off for tonight, and oh, I should say good morning, Tara. 2 a.m. Right. So yes. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video if you want. If you have any questions relating to relationships, feel free to post them and I'll address them in the next live. So we'll continue on relationships probably tomorrow. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a good night, folks.